I made my own VHS highlight reel.
Yeah, you did.
And I went and hustled and pushed it out there, and I ended up getting a scholarship to play down at a school in West Virginia called Wheeling Jesuit University, D2 school. Played 2 years there, went back to New York, studied at NYU sports marketing. Buddy of mine invites me to a Nike event to do basketball tricks, and I almost didn't go. He told me they were giving away free sneakers. I was like, I'll be right there. and I won the event. And I was able to do a trick in front of this panel of judges. I had 30 seconds where I was always able to sort of handle the ball as a point guard.
Right.
Spin the ball on my finger, keep the ball spinning, put it on a pen, put the pen in my mouth, ball keeps spinning. I won the event. I got the sneakers, which was huge. And then Nike was like, we'd love for you to come be a part of some commercials with us. And so...
that's how you got into acting?
That's what put me in front of the camera.
Which commercial? Do we know them?
Yeah, they were pretty popular. I mean, there was several ad campaigns. One of the first ones were, it was with Vince Carter. It was a 1975 Nike Rucker commercial. And it was when Vince came out with the Nike Shocks. It was the first time those Nike Shocks came out. And I had to dress in like these little 1975 Rucker Park, tiny pom-pom shorts with an afro. And I did this behind the back pass to Vince, who catches it and windmills it. And that was one of, and then there were others that were huge, and did really well. And that was what started it.
So if I'm picking up on this, that your dream of playing college basketball at a certain level did not materialize, but acting allowed you to dish it to Vince Carter.
Well, that's what you're basically telling me. Well, the dream was, let's be honest, the dream as you're growing up, I wanted to play pro. That was not going to happen. You realize very quickly. I got to play against some great players that I grew up with. Smush Parker ended up playing for the Lakers. We played, so I got to play against great people.
Yeah.
But the dream was, you want to be in the league.
Madison Square Garden.
No doubt, without a doubt. And so what ended up being really fun was after those Nike commercials, we started a group called the Nike Freestylers that were all part of the Nike Freestyle commercial, which was one of the other big campaigns. And we did every NBA team's halftime show. And we worked with NBA players on these commercials. So what was really great is we'd see the players coming back from halftime and they're watching us do our thing. And we were like, cool, we didn't get to play in the league, but we definitely got to sort of show our skills, do our thing in front of that audience at these arenas all over the country. And we traveled around the world. It was amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, true story.
Did you really throw this behind the back pass?
Yeah, because it's
is that a legit pass?
Yeah.
That's a legit one take, because Vince came in, he did one take.
What?
And that was it. And that
But you're looking at the commercial right now?
Stupid. Yeah, it's great.
They're running a break. You're wearing number
Correct.
17.
That's it.
And you toss the ball behind, and Vince goes up and
he does a windmill on one take.
Yeah.
And I'll never. And then we got to work. I went to Asia with Vince, and we did stuff with Nike in Asia with Vince Carter and all these. It was fun. For 6 years, basketball was my life. I had no idea that it would somehow lead to where I'm getting to act and do this as a living. Like, no clue. My passion was sports. I worked for the Knicks for a year as an intern, sports marketing.
You an intern for the New York Knickerbockers,
which was huge.
Which season was this? Do you remember?
2001. 2001. Sprewell, Allen Houston, Marcus Camby, and I was in community relations. I studied sports marketing. I was in the community relations department, so I would work with getting the players to events, MLK Day, various events. And the fun thing was when the Nike stuff started happening and taking off, as I told you, we would do halftime shows. Everyone in the office knew me as a suit in community relations. And then at one point, the Knicks booked us to do the halftime show. And so I would do game nights as well, where I would bring, Allen Houston would have his seats for the kids from various schools, or Latrell Sprewell. I'd bring the kids to their seats, give them gift bags, but they happened like twice. I'd give the bag at the top of the game, and then I'd have to go and change into my uniform and do the halftime show, and then put back on the suit. And the kids were like, was that you in the middle of the court? And even all the other sort of coworkers were like,
it's like Superman.
They
You're
were like,
Clark
what
Kent,
are you
man.
doing? And then some of my coworkers were blown, because they had no idea either. They didn't know, that I could do
you had
this.
game and you could do this sort
No
of
idea.
thing.
They knew me as someone that worked community relations in the office and showed up Monday through Friday. They didn't know that sort of my side hustling gig was doing basketball tricks.
Damn, man.
That's awesome.
Ramon Rodriguez of Will Trent right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so, man, so many different ways to go with this. No, this is great.
Top 5 NYC point guards, go.
Ooh. Is that a serious question?
Go for it.
It can
Well, are we talking that made it to the league or just street ballers?
be. You know, you can
Name it.
Throw 'em out there.
I mean,
it's your floor.
Skip to My Lou forever will be up there. I love Skip, but I'll go even beyond.
Sweet Pete Daniels,
Who's that?
Lloyd Daniels. Do you
Lloyd
remember?
Daniels, sure. Kenny, and not Kenny's.
Kenny Anderson.
Kenny Anderson.
Kenny Anderson, thank you very much. Kenny Anderson. Who else?
It's Marbury, baby.
No doubt. I'll give you Starberry for sure. For sure. You see, that's the thing. It's like there's different categories. There's folks that made it to the league, and then there's the ones that didn't.
Right.
And so it just depends.
Rod Strickland.
Strickland, for sure.
Mark Jackson.
Jackson, loved him.
Oh,
Absolutely. No, I loved him. I
okay.
loved him. It's just, different style of play. You know, I always
What was your play?
gravitated-
What was your style of play? I can kind of guess from what you've described.
I mean, again, I grew up playing with a lot of those, with Skip and Smush. And so, I love to have fun. I mean, I'm a classic point guard in New York. You got to know how to handle the ball. Michigan is where I learned how to shoot because you can't go to, it's amazing what happened when I got there and how well those kids could really shoot the ball. And I can't try to take that back with me. Ed Booger Smith, another one. Just anyway.
So then, now that we're here in the present day, what I've been saying here, because again, I'm from Staten Island, which is, as I told you in the green room, I'm from the Lower West Side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, of New York City. So, Jalen Brunson is one of my favorite Knicks of all time. Bernard King is my favorite Knick. I saw him at the game the other day. It was awesome to see him.
Yep.
What Jalen Brunson's doing right now is truly
It's really
off the charts.
incredible. It's really phenomenal. And I think just who he is, like how he plays, but just who that guy is. He's easy to root for. He's easy to get behind. He sets a tone. And just how the team is playing. I'm thrilled. I'm very excited for tonight's game.
Yeah, right? I mean,
I'm so pumped.
It just, there's nothing like, again, I'm biased, so I'll assume that we're biased.
Yeah.
There's nothing like when the Garden is just lit.
Nothing like it. And it's the truth. I've played and I've performed at every NBA arena. There's something about the Garden, the energy, the people, even just the building itself.
Correct.
Hasn't changed really. It's also like a labyrinth. Once you work there, you really learn the inner outings of it.
Well, isn't it on like the 6th floor of a building?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's got like beneath it, everything that's going on. So it's like there's tunnels in there that it's a really, really fascinating building. But that arena shakes. I've been at the nosebleeds. I've been on the floor. And it's a wonderful energy. And when that team, the way we're playing now, it's just undeniable, man. It's hard not to get pumped and proud about it.
For sure. So I guess one last thing on your basketball career. What's your best stat line, Ramon?
My best stat line?
Yes, sir. No matter where it was.
I led Northern Michigan in scoring my junior and senior year. I averaged 26 points a game.
Yeah, you did.
That was awesome.
26.
But within New York, I'm proud to say that I've played in every major league. Rucker, Westforth, Dykeman. I got to play on those courts. And by the way, that feeling, like the Garden is one thing, but New York City street ball and playing on those courts, you want to talk about pressure. Like where people are really, the audience, everyone's active. Like Dykeman, you have like Dominican Power Team, and that place is rocking. There's just nothing like it. So I'm glad and grateful I got to have that experience.
Man, and anybody who was wondering how great of an actor you are, the fact that you're playing someone in the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for hit
anybody
drama.
who's watching this is going to be like, Will Trent plays ball? Like, I don't buy that at all.
Will Trent can hoop.
That's amazing.
I'm assuming they definitely know your history.
I don't talk about this. It's not something...
Because, half the tricks, what if you actually incorporated it in some part of your plot line or something?
I try to avoid that because it's an easy, and also it's like the character's different. He's not me. He's not Ramon. And so I like to honor that. But recently, for instance, we just did a spot for the NBA Finals because it's on ABC.
Yes.
Will Trent. And so they brought in the trophy, which was amazing, by the way.
Larry O'Brien.
Larry O'Brien got to hold it and kiss it.
Fantastic.
And they had no idea, and they did the ads. I hope I don't spoil it for everybody, whatever. It's a ball bouncing in its various shows, and I catch the ball, and they don't know what I'm going to do. And then suddenly I just start doing my thing with it, and they're thrilled. And everyone on the set was like, wait a minute. Like, you play ball? Like, some people thought it was like a VFX thing going on. Like, is this some sort of weird? I was like, no, this was another life that I lived, basketball. I still shoot around. I don't play the way I did, but it was a big part of my life. I slept with my basketball, man. It was, you'd hear me coming down the street because I'd be dribbling my ball.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.